I used to work for you. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Steward Criley, and I grew up here. I went to this school. And if I'm going to be a devil's advocate, it's because I've worked for the devil. Yeah. I was a planning commissioner for 5 years. So I served with you and by you on the days myself. And if you think this meeting is running late, some of our meetings ran until 1:30 in the morning. So this is actually, you're just hitting third inning at this point. I've also been a part of St. Francis since I was 6 months old. I was the senior acolyte when our church was consecrated. My children also served as acolytes. My wife serves in the choir. I never thought I would be here today to explain my connection to St. Francis to you. But here we are. I know the dilemma you're in. I want to sympathize. I know what it's like to make difficult choices involving people's homes and their pieces of business. In this present matter, there's very little that you can do. I know that Sacramento has tied your hands. But there are two very important things that you should do, and I will argue that you have failed to do. One, you have failed to be timely. This freight train was long in coming. You have used up so much time that you now have days, not months, to get this housing element in. You had an ad hoc committee that was trying to do this work. It was started, then abandoned. The best solutions are no longer on the table because you've run out of time. Now you have a messy series of public meetings where the people you rely on have not done their homework, leaving you unprepared, and the public horrified. Your consultants are unreliable. They're creating staff reports that cut and paste from other work that they're doing for other cities. In your last meeting, someone prepared this staff report for you. This is Agenda 11. Look on page 2. They're talking about the two sites, church sites that are under consideration, the United Methodist Church and the First Church of Christ Scientist. Last I checked, the United Methodist Church is in Rolling Hills. Why do you tolerate this? These people are working for you. And if they're not, as a planning commissioner, I needed staff to help me understand the applications that are before me. But if they're just cutting and pasting and letting you hang out to dry, you suffer. And we do too, with you. 2, I would argue you've been failed to be honest dealers. You have made churches a target. I know full well why. They're easy targets. They probably won't sell. What's the harm? It will appease the housing gods of Sacramento. The neighbors won't object. Easy, right? Instead of your manager and staff engaging with these churches, my church, in your deliberations honestly, you have invited them to dinner only for us to find out we're the main course. It might actually make financial sense to slap an overlay zoning for these churches. Hey, they will be coming out ahead, you might argue. If it's such a good idea, why not do it in every church in the city? As a child, I played SimCity. What a game. You created power stations and airports and roads, and then every once in a while, a big fat church would spawn right on a piece of prime real estate in the city you were trying to build. Do you know how annoying that was? Well, you actually do. Churches house no people. They generate no business. They pay no taxes. The difference is I'm not playing SimCity, but you are.
Stewart, I have a question for you. You had stated that the best solutions aren't on the table. What do you think we are overlooking?
And you would think I'd be running for city council right now with this answer. I'm sure all of us have an opinion what it is, and it's not my backyard, correct? And so they're just saying, hey, we tried. A really good idea, I would think, is to take the commercial areas that we have, where on the ground floor all the businesses are presently, and generate more traffic for them by building housing above them. Try to keep them whole so that the people owning the leases don't go out of business while you're doing the construction. Try to do that three-cornered billiard shot with the multi-owners and the landlords that are absentee just collecting rent. Incentivize them by saying, look, we'll buy you out, but we're going to have some sort of a bond to help them build those things so that we actually have better businesses for the businesses that are there. We increase density and we work it out that way. But you're not going to get that done by February 11th. And you'd have to really, really engage the neighborhood and get them engaged in saying, yeah, it would be nice to have a couple more restaurants and make sure that there's not this revolving door. I sure like Salsa Verdes, I just hope it's still there. Is it going to be a business like the other 5 ones, like Talashay's and everything else? But that's going to take hard work. And I don't know if that's going to happen. It's certainly not at this point.
We have looked at the other commercial areas, so just to clarify that. But thank you.